People of God edified.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production of Glory 93.9 FM.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Wardrobe provided by Bahari Bahamas. Visit shopbahari.com. And good morning, everyone. BS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate your continued support. So today is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's a Wellness Wednesday. And we are going to be talking about steps that you can take to optimize your health, help you to walk in optimal health. And for the past a couple of Wednesdays, we've been talking about 7 strategies for healthy living. And we are going to continue in that series today. I want to encourage you to grab a pen and a diary or a journal or a piece of paper or whatever, or go to your laptop and prepare to take notes, because the information that we're going to be sharing today is a lot of information. The show will be available on Facebook. And so I encourage you to take notes, to watch the show again and again and again, because you're going to get some vital information today about a very important role, something that plays a very important role in protecting your health. Like and share this show. Let everyone know that this is a show that they need to see, because we're going to be talking about something very important today. So in the first show of this series, we talked about the 7 strategies, and we said we were going to treat them all as various chapters. And so in chapter 1, we dealt with protein in chapter 1 of this book of nutrition. And chapter 2, you will recall, we dealt with fats, healthy fats, and the importance of those to your diet. And in chapter 3, we looked at carbohydrates. And chapter 4, we dealt with fiber. And in chapter 5, we covered water. So in chapter 6, which is what we'll be dealing with today, that we're only going to focus on this one topic in this show today. Because quite frankly, it could even take more than one show to deal with this, but we're going to get it all in this one show today. And that is vitamins. The importance of vitamins. Now, if any of you have been listening to this show on a Wednesday, or if any of you have seen any of the health talks that I've done, you would always hear me talk about the 90 nutrients that your body needs. And when I break it down for you to tell you what those 90 nutrients are, they are 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 3 essential fatty acids. So today we're going to focus strictly on the 16 vitamins, because this is really important to your health, because you can eat well and eat organic and do all that stuff, but because of modern day farming techniques, we're not getting the level of vitamins in our foods anymore, the same as, say, my grandparents did. And so it is imperative, it is extremely necessary for you to supplement, but not all supplements are created equal. And so today we're going to be talking specifically about vitamins and the role that vitamins play in your ability to achieve optimal health. So the chapters before dealt with what we call macronutrients, and what we're going to be dealing with today in vitamins is micronutrients. Vitamins and minerals are what we call micronutrients. So macronutrients means that you need large amounts of protein, large amounts of fats, large amounts of carbs and fiber and water to maintain your health. They are measured in grams and ounces, large amounts. But when it comes to this question of micronutrients, we're talking very small nutrients are measured in milligrams, for instance, or micrograms. So we're talking about very, very tiny amounts compared to the macronutrients. I want you to think of micronutrients like pixie dust. And this pixie dust is necessary for you to sprinkle over the macronutrients in order to help the macronutrients to perform better, to work better. So one assists the other. You need them both. And there are two micronutrients. We're only going to focus on one today. The two micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. We're going to cover minerals next week. But today we're going to be talking about vitamins. There are two kinds of vitamins. You need to understand the difference between the two. The first kind is what we call water soluble, and the second kind of vitamins are fat soluble. Now, what's the difference between the two? Once again, we're going to be hearing from pharmacist Ben Fuchs throughout the show, who is going to be breaking this down for us. So that talks about the difference between water-soluble nutrients and fat-soluble vitamins.
Everything in nature either has a watery side to it, it's watery, or it has a fat side to it, it's fatty. You know how you make salad dressing out of oil and vinegar, right? The oil floats to the top and the vinegar goes to the bottom because oil and water don't mix. They're two separate phases of nature, oil and water. And vitamins have an oily side and a watery side. The watery side to vitamins are called the B complex and vitamin C. The fatty side to vitamins are called vitamins D, E, A, and K, and they're all important. Your watery vitamins, the B complex and C, because they're watery, have to be replenished on a regular basis because you excrete them every time you urinate. That's why it doesn't do you any good to take a vitamin C pill in the morning or a B complex pill in the morning, because by the end of the day you don't have any left because your body has excreted them. The best way to do your water-soluble nutrients is in water. And getting back to water, by the way, some people will say don't drink water with your meals because it dilutes your digestive enzymes. Have you guys heard this? Well, you can't digest food unless it's a soupy mass of water in your stomach. And if you don't drink water with your meals, your body's going to have to suck the water up out of your tissues to dilute the food, and you're going to be dehydrated in your tissues. You absolutely do want water with your meals. And your enzymes are designed to work in a watery substance. Don't worry about diluting your digestive enzymes. Another incorrect strategy. A gallon a day, if you can. So your vitamins are the same way. Your water-soluble vitamins, you want to take them with water. And your B complex and your C should be in a liquid. That's why I like these liquid nutrients so well, is because they're already in a liquid. In fact, a great tool for your health is to take some of these liquid nutrients, put them in water, and drink them all day. Sip on them all day. Remember, your body doesn't want to have a quick burst of things. It wants to have slow, sustained nutrients. It likes everything to be slow. So if you take a capful of Ultimate Classic or Tangy Tangerine, put it into some water, You can sip on it all day long. And you know what? For your kids, it tastes great. Much better than Kool-Aid. Much better for them than Kool-Aid because they're getting nutrients. So your water-soluble nutrients you need to take throughout the day.
All right. So you have to understand again that vitamins play a very, very, very important role in your health. And so we're going to break this down so that you can understand what types of vitamins you should be taking, the role of those vitamins on your body, and the difference between the vitamins that you may be taking now and the vitamins that I'm going to recommend that you take. And we're going to talk about that in the last portion of the show. So I want you guys to understand that when it comes to vitamin C specifically is a very, very powerful nutrient. Actually, we could spend the whole show just talking about vitamin C, but we're not going to do that. Animals make their own vitamin C. Only humans and a couple other animals like gorillas have actually lost our ability to make our own vitamin C. So we don't make our own vitamin C anymore. And this is why we have to supplement, because our bodies don't create it on our own. Now, you might ask, how much vitamin C should you be taking? Well, I'll give you an example of how ridiculous some of the advice that we're given is. A Cocker Spaniel, those cute little dogs? A Cocker Spaniel makes about 150 milligrams of vitamin C. That's what a Cocker Spaniel does every day. But yet, the recommended daily allowance, RDA, for humans is 50 milligrams. You hear how ridiculous that sounds? If a little Cocker Spaniel, that tiny little cute dog, is producing 150 milligrams of vitamin C every day to function, how is it that they think humans only need 50? I thought it was pretty funny that Ben says that RDA stands for ridiculous deprivation allowance. It's ridiculous to think that we would only need 50 milligrams of vitamin C per day, but yet that is the RDA. So let's talk, in this next clip, Ben is going to talk more about the importance of vitamin C.
Linus Pauling took 10 grams of vitamin C a day. He lived to be 98 years old, and he had prostate cancer 20 years before. He survived 20 more years, and he was taking 10 grams of vitamin C. The RDAs are not made up by nutritionists. They're made up by the Academy of Science, whatever that is. They're not made up by nutritionists. Don't pay attention to the RDAs. You want multiple levels of RDA doses. And there's no better example than with vitamin C. Vitamin C has been used to cure cancer. When vitamin C is injected into cancer cells, the cancer cells shrivel up. Vitamin C is nature's premier rust protector. You see, one of the other ways that we die, we talked earlier about how we die, and we said that we candy to death. Another way that we die is we rust to death. One of the signs of rusting is little age spots. That's rusting. Everything in nature rusts. It reacts with oxygen to rust. When tissues react with oxygen, they burn. One of the things that oxygen does is it causes things to burn. How do you put out a fire? You smother it. You rob it of oxygen because oxygen is very flammable, very explosive. So nature has designed a system to prevent oxygen from burning up the body. We call that system a system of anti-oxidation. That's what antioxidants are. They block the burning effects of oxygen. If you're baking an apple pie, you slice up the apples and you let them sit, you go out and make a phone call, you come back, the apples turn brown. Exactly. Because they react with the oxygen and it browns it. What's the best way to keep the apples from turning brown? Lemon juice. You squeeze lemon juice on top of the apples. What does the lemon juice have in it that keeps the apples from turning brown? Vitamin C. Exactly. And just like vitamin C will keep the apples from turning brown, they will keep your skin and your tissues from turning brown as well. And that's why antioxidants are so vital, and that's why vitamin C is so vital, because vitamin C is nature's premier antioxidant.
So, to break that down, we are rusting, for want of a better word. This is a part of nature. Things degenerate, things rust. And one of the things that vitamin C does so well is it prevents that rusting in the body. And he's absolutely right. If you want to stop your fruit from turning brown, then you just put a little lemon juice on that thing and it will not turn brown because of the vitamin C. And so it is very, very important for you to introduce good quality vitamin C into your body to stop that rusting process. That's the importance of antioxidants. And, you know, it amazes me when I come across people, some of them who say, oh, I don't believe we have to take nutrition. We don't have to take supplements because you get everything from your food. I'm hoping you're hearing now how ridiculous that argument is. Because there are certain very important nutrients that your body needs that, you know, you just can't get it all from your food. It's not enough. And so oftentimes these are people who use that, you know, that analogy. They say, okay, this is, I believe that I can get everything that I need from my food. And yet many of them are facing ailments simply because they're not giving their bodies everything that they need to function. And so you really, really, really have to understand that there is no getting around this. Oxygen is very flammable, and antioxidants block the effects of oxygen on the body. In the same way the lemon juice blocks the effects of oxygen on the apple. So it's a very, very powerful antioxidant that you have to be getting sufficient of in your diet. There's no way around it. And so I want to encourage you all to not only understand that you have to take vitamins, but then to understand that not all vitamins are created equal. And we definitely will talk about that at some point within the show so y'all can understand the difference between some vitamins that you are getting over the counter and other vitamins that provide you more nutrition. Because I come across so many people all the time who are taking vitamins. They're buying vitamins, they're taking vitamins, and yet they are still sick. And sometimes people say to me, well, I don't need to do anything else because I'm taking this and I'm taking that. And I say to them, well, how's that working out for you? Because if you're still sick, if you're still going through all of these medical challenges, then might I suggest that perhaps what you're doing is not working. And the problem is a lot of people turn around and they say, because what they're doing isn't working, they say, well, vitamins, you know, is a waste of time. You shouldn't take vitamins. When the truth be told, it's not that you shouldn't take vitamins. It's just that they're taking the wrong ones. So it is very important that you are taking the right type of nutrition. So in this show, again, we're going to break down the various types of vitamins to give you a better understanding of what they do. But I want you to keep in the back of your mind as we go through this show that not all vitamins are created equal. So in other words, I don't want you to go dash out to the shop and spend all a bunch of money buying all these different vitamins that we're discussing in the show, thinking that you're getting, you know, what your body needs out of that. Because truth be told, if depending on how it's formulated, you may not be able to, your body may not be able to assimilate it. And that is very, very important. And this is why the very last portion of the show, I'm going to dedicate specifically to explaining that not all are created equal. So Ken Lee says, they are correct. It's just that most people don't know what foods to eat and where to purchase them. That is why they are deficient. You can get everything from what you eat. Our ignorance to real food is the problem. No, Ken Lee, with all due respect, I disagree. Because the challenge is the soils from which the foods are grown today have been so depleted of minerals that they do not contain the same amount of nutrients that the foods that our grandparents ate. So even if you're eating organic food grown from a farmer that you love and trust, unless that farmer is replenishing that soil with minerals, you are still unable to get everything that you need from those foods. You'll have to eat a truckload of that food to get the adequate amount of nutrients that you need. It's because our soils have been depleted. So do some research, Kenley, go educate yourself, but you're wrong. It is impossible for you to get everything that you need from food alone. It is impossible. And as Doc Wallach says, because you are looking to make yourself sick if you try to get everything that you need from food alone. And it doesn't matter from where you get it, Kenley. You know. Now, if you know, or if you grow your own nutrients, your own vitamins in your backyard, and you are replenishing the soil yourself with minerals, and there is a way to do that, then chances are you're getting a lot more out of your food than if you are buying it, you know, from just anywhere. But you still need to supplement. You still need to. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. So I want to clear up that myth, because a lot of people are walking around thinking, oh, I don't need to take any supplements. I eat well. But yet you're still sick. Stuff's still going wrong in your body. Why? Because you're not getting sufficient. And I want y'all to understand something. Organic simply means that it is not sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. It does not mean that it is nutritious. It just means that you don't have the added problem of poisons being sprayed on it. So don't think because you're eating organic, it means that you're getting all of the nutrients that your body needs. That's a fool's game, in the words of Dr. Joel Wallach. You have to supplement. But again, not all supplements are created equal. So we are definitely going to talk about that some more. But we're going to take a quick break. And then on the other side of the break, we are going to be talking about the B complex vitamins. Very, very important for your body. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Glory 93.9 FM, the people's favorite gospel station.
Located on Carmichael Road, Divine Designs Hair Boutique is a haven for women and men looking for professional beauty services. Our state-of-the-art and contemporary equipment creates a relaxing ambiance for you to enjoy while we cater to you. Need a hairstylist? We cater to all types and textures of hair for care and styling. We even have a barber on duty. Need a nail tech? Our technicians provide a range of nail services, including the latest trends. Unwind in one of our massage chairs while you get your pedicure. With our reasonable rates, friendly staff, and over 20 years of experience, you will be in great hands. Call us at 823-1669 or 698-1025 to schedule your appointment. Want to be pampered? Want to be slayed? Let Divine Designs make your day.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. It's a Wellness Wednesday, and we are talking all about health today. And this is a continuation in our series of 7 strategies for healthy living. Today, we're talking about vitamins. Now, I know prior to the break, I said that we were going to go to the B complex, but I forgot to play one more clip before we go to the B complex, and this is about the role of vitamin C as a powerful antioxidant. You know, prior to the break, I talked about the fact that oxygen is flammable, and what antioxidants do, antioxidants like vitamin C, is they block the effects of oxygen on the body. So let's face it, if you see something in your house that's rusting, it's because of the process of oxygenation. And so the same thing happens in our bodies because oxygen is very flammable. And so what vitamin C does very well, it's a very powerful antioxidant. It actually blocks the effects of oxygen on the damaging effects of oxygen on the body. Let's go to clip number 3.
Vitamin C is just as important for your bones as calcium is. The disease that's caused by vitamin C deficiency is called scurvy. Scurvy is when your body dissolves. All of the structural components of your body dissolves. So your blood vessels explode and you hemorrhage inside. Your lips fall off, your ears fall off, your fingertips fall off. Your skeletal structure begins to decay in the absence of vitamin C. It doesn't take much vitamin C to protect this from happening. It only takes about 50 milligrams of vitamin C. One of the things that happens when vitamin C is deficient is you begin to get little cuts and little nicks in your coronary arteries. When you get little cuts and little nicks in your coronary arteries, your body has developed a system for patching up those cuts and nicks. And that system is based on cholesterol. And that's one of the roles that cholesterol has in the body, is to patch up the little nicks and cuts in the coronary arteries. So after you die and they check your coronary arteries, they see lots of cholesterol and they say, well, cholesterol caused heart disease. Blaming cholesterol for heart disease is like blaming flies for garbage. The cholesterol's there, but it didn't cause the heart disease. The flies are there, they didn't cause the garbage. The cholesterol is in the coronary arteries because vitamin C was missing and nicks started to form in the arteries. That's why animals don't get heart attacks, because animals make their own vitamin C. So animals have their arteries protected. Human beings don't. So vitamin C becomes a powerful tool in the fight against heart disease as well.
Okay. Did y'all hear what he said just now? You know, when you go to the doctor and they say you have high cholesterol, what do? They put you on a statin drug. And I always say this, you know, that's the wrong strategy, because the cholesterol is there for a reason. The cholesterol is not the source of the problem. The cholesterol is responding to the problem, trying to fix the problem. So imagine you have a fire, your house is on fire, and all of the firefighters come to try to put the fire out, and you show up on the scene and you say, oh, there's so many firefighters here, they must have started the fire. Do you hear how ludicrous that sounds? That's pretty stupid, right? But that is exactly the approach of what the MD does. They blame the cholesterol, whereas the cholesterol is there to try to help fix the problem. So what is the source of the problem? The source of the problem is when you have a deficiency of vitamin C. Now things start to become damaged. They start to break down. You've got the oxidative stress. You've got the rusting of the body. Things start to break. Things start to rust, to degenerate. And so the cholesterol rushes to the spot to try to fix the damage. Get it? So don't let anybody tell you that if you have elevated cholesterol, that all you need to do is take a statin drug to get the problem fixed. That's blaming the flies for the garbage. That's blaming the firefighters for the fire. The key is to repair the damage that's been done. And a major component to that is vitamin C, because as you would have just heard in the clip, that vitamin C helps to repair, or I would dare say to stop the rusting that's going on in the body that's causing the cholesterol to rush to the site to try to fix the problem, which is what ends up in elevated cholesterol. You see how it all works together? I want you guys to understand once again that your body is an interconnected system. And so, as opposed to only focusing on a symptom when it happens, you have to focus on the entire system to figure out what is going wrong and address the source of the problem. And this is why vitamins play such an important role. I get a lot of people who think they don't have to take vitamins. They say, oh, you're just wasting money on that supplement. I can get everything. But these same people battle an illness. And I don't understand how come they're not making the connection in their brain. Okay, so Kenley says, people take stuff to get rid of colds and whatnot when the cold is the body's way of ridding the body of what is making it sick. So you have to understand, people, that these micronutrients are extremely important in order for you to maintain good health. There is no maintaining good health without them. There is not. So you have to understand the role of these micronutrients. You have to understand the source of the micronutrients that you're getting. And you have to understand what happens to your body when you don't get these micronutrients. And this is why I'm bringing you this information, so that you can be more informed about the importance of vitamins on your body. Because I see it so much where people come to me sick, and when you try to find out what's going on with them, either they're on nothing at all, or when you find out the type of nutrients that they're taking, you realize your body's not absorbing that. I say it very often on this show. It's not about what's on the label. It's about what your body can absorb. And if the vitamins that you're taking are made from minerals in their raw state, your body cannot absorb that. So at best, you're getting 12% of what is on that label. And then if you have a damaged gut, forget about it. You're getting even less. So this is why we have to talk about the importance of vitamins to your body. All right, so I did promise that we were going to go to the B complex of vitamins. The second water soluble nutrients are the B complex. Now, why are they called the B complex? Because there are many B vitamins, but in nature they are all found together. And this is why we call them the B complex. And so you can almost think of them as one vitamin, but yet they have different components that can be observed and measured. And so one of the most important roles of the B complex is to help your body to utilize energy. The B complex is very, very important to overall health. So let's go now to clip number 4.
B1 is thiamine. Thiamine is the B vitamin that's mostly responsible for absorbing and utilizing sugars. B vitamin deficiency causes mental disease. In fact, alcoholics suffer from something called alcoholics dementia, also known as Korsakoff's syndrome. And that's when people drink a lot of alcohol for many, many years, and they start to essentially lose their mind. They become demented. That's because alcohol is a sugar, and it requires thiamine to be absorbed. When there's no thiamine present, the alcohol and the sugar will build up and will start to suffer from the effects of oversugarization, if you will. B2 is riboflavin. Riboflavin is involved in the energy production of the cell. Deficiencies in riboflavin will cause cracks in the lips, will cause changes in the eyes. B3 niacin is probably the most powerful anti-cholesterol medicine that there is. Nobody should be put on an anti-cholesterol drug before they're put on niacin, because niacin will lower your cholesterol safely. Niacin opens up blood vessels. Sometimes people will take too much niacin and they'll get something called the niacin flush. The niacin flush is when blood is starting to flow to the tips of your ears and the tips of your fingers, and it feels hot and warm. This is not a bad thing. The niacin flush shows you that the niacin is working. In fact, niacin has been used to treat Raynaud's syndrome for that reason. Raynaud's syndrome is when the extremities get cold because blood isn't coming to the extremities. Raynaud's syndrome can be treated with simple niacin. Dr. Abram Hoffer, a famous MD in the 50s, used to treat schizophrenia with niacin and autism with niacin very successfully before we came up with antipsychotic medicines. Vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, is found in every single cell in nature. Pantothenic acid is responsible for keeping your adrenal glands healthy. Pantothenic acid is responsible for making sure that we can get energy from fat. If we don't have enough pantothenic acid, we can't get energy from fat, and the fat will build up. Pantothenic acid is wonderful for people who have oily skin or who are acne prone because it helps with fat metabolism and it helps with the adrenal glands. We use high doses of B5 in my pharmacy for acne. B6, pyridoxine, is critical for joint functioning. Carpal tunnel syndrome has been healed with B6. Morning sickness has been healed with B6 for women who are pregnant. B6 deficiencies show up when people are on birth control pills. B6 is involved in protein metabolism. Every time you're eating protein, if you're increasing your protein, you want to make sure that you're getting enough B6. By the way, you want to take all your B vitamins together. Even if we're talking about these individually, about what they do individually, you want to make sure that you're taking your B complex together. If you take one B vitamin, say you take B3 for your cholesterol, and you don't take all the B vitamins, when your body is excreting the B3, it will try to excrete all the B vitamins together because it likes to excrete them together. So it'll pull the B6 out and the B5 out of your tissues and the B1 out of your tissues, and it'll pass them through together, and you'll become deficient in the other B vitamins. Does that make sense? So you want to take all your B vitamins together. If you're smart enough to know about taking B3, for example, make sure you take it with a complex.
All right, so clearly you can hear the very important role that the B vitamins play in the body. And, you know, I honestly believe that people need to understand that if you could choose between healing the body using vitamins and minerals as opposed to managing an illness using pharmaceuticals, then clearly I would think that your top choice would be to try to heal your body using natural sources, vitamins and minerals. And as you're listening to Pharmacist Ben, you're realizing that a lot of these conditions that we're dealing with, like heart disease, can be dealt with nutrition. If you are getting adequate nutrition, many of these conditions can be avoided. But even better, good news for those of you who are already battling these conditions, they can be reversed simply by introducing into your body the nutrients that it is craving. And I've seen it happen time and time again. I often compare the body to a computer that is scanning for these 90 nutrients that it needs. So it's constantly on the lookout for these 90 nutrients that it needs to function. The gas in the car is a good analogy. Your car needs gas to function. And so this computer, known as your body, is constantly scanning for these nutrients that it needs to function. And when your body doesn't find the nutrients it needs, then it prompts you to go eat certain foods because it's looking for these nutrients. So if we are giving our bodies the nutrients that they need to begin with, then a lot of the bad foods that we end up eating, we won't be craving anymore because of the fact that we are giving our bodies the nutrients that they're looking for. It's that simple. And what I have found is that once you get people's diet cleaned up, once they stop eating all the bad foods, and once they start nutrifying their bodies, taking adequate amounts of vitamins and minerals, amino acids, essential fatty acids, not only do the cravings go away, but their bodies literally start to correct themselves of all of the ailments that they're dealing with. It's a remarkable thing to see happen. And I've seen it happen time and time and time and time again. And I'm not talking any one specific condition. I'm talking, I've seen it happen all kinds of conditions that people have been. And the minute we introduce nutrients into their body and get their diets cleaned up and get them in a good, clean environment, because toxins obviously do a lot of damage to the body. If you're in a toxic environment, then, you're fighting a losing battle if you're not nutrifying your body. But I've seen it time and time and time again, that all you have to do is introduce these nutrients to the person's body, making sure that they're getting the good macronutrients, and then you get the pixie dust of the micronutrients to help the macronutrients work. You get their body healed, like their gut, make sure that their gut, is not being continuously damaged, and that they are able to absorb the nutrients that they're taking in. And I have seen miraculous turnarounds where people were at the stage of being told your only hope is to have surgery. And yet, once you give the body what it needs, the body corrects itself. Here's the deal, y'all. Our bodies are healing machines. Our bodies were designed to heal. Our bodies are trying to heal. Our bodies want to heal. But we just have to give our bodies the building blocks that they need to heal. And those building blocks are your 90 essential nutrients. 60 minerals, and next week's show will be specifically about these minerals. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, and that's what we're talking about today, the 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 3 essential fatty acids. Once your body gets those nutrients, I don't care what condition you are battling, you will have a better time at it. You will be able to reverse these chronic non-communicable diseases that are so plaguing us as a nation and, quite frankly, plaguing the world, because it's not just us. But here in the Bahamas, we do, as you are all aware, have a lot of sickness. A lot of people are suffering and dying unnecessarily, I say, because they're just not getting the nutrients that their bodies need. The Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. And it bothers me when I come across people who have been taking pharmaceutical medications for decades, in some cases, without any hope of ever coming off of it, because it's not making them any better. It's just managing their illness. When the best medicine, if you want to call it that, is nutrients. Give your body the nutrition it needs and your body will fix itself. This is a gospel station, so I can say this here without any, fear of repercussions. But I believe the version of the Bible when it comes to creation. And I believe that mankind, the body came from the earth. And this is why when we die, we go back to the earth. And so to me, it just makes sense that if your body came from the earth, that you would go to the earth for the source of what you need to fix the body when it goes wrong. I mean, is it just me or is that common sense? And so this is why it is so important that we get plant-derived nutrition. Plant-derived nutrition, not chemistry lab derived nutrition. Big difference between the two. You want plant derived nutrition because that is what your body can assimilate. Plant derived nutrition. And so you really have to understand the role of all of these various vitamins. Now, I want to go to my next clip. Would that be clip number 4? Oh, we already played number 4. Okay, so no, I don't want to go to clip number 5 until after the next break. I'm just trying to. It's a lot of clips, y'all, and I'm just trying to keep on top of the ones that we play and when we play them, because I just want to, I'm taking my time going over this because I want y'all to get it. I want y'all to understand how important this is, so that people could stop just suffering and dying unnecessarily, because they believe that they don't need to be doing anything extra. And, back in the days of our grandparents, that might have been true because the soils were so rich. But I dare say that they have been so depleted over the years that it's impossible to get it all from your food, people. It is impossible. I'm telling you, it's impossible. I have more than, several clients who are vegetarian, who are, vegan and only eating a plant-based diet, but still suffering because they're not getting sufficient nutrients out of their diet. So I just want you to understand that you have to supplement. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to supplement. Otherwise, you're not getting enough. And so once you understand that, then this show becomes important for you to understand the role of the vitamins that you're going to be taking, and how they impact the body. Because one of the things that I don't want you to think that you can do is, you're taking notes from the show, and you're saying, okay, vitamin and that vitamin, so you go and you buy a bottle of this and a bottle of that and a bottle of this and a bottle of that. But you're buying it from a company that is formulating it from, not plant sources. And then at the end of the day, you're not seeing any results, and you're getting upset and saying, but this isn't working, and I don't believe in vitamins because it's not helping me to get any better. No, you just bet on the wrong horse. You just using the wrong vitamins. So it's important that you get the right ones. It's important that you understand the difference. It's important that you understand what your body can assimilate, what your body can break down, because that is what makes a difference between those that work and those that don't. All right? So we got to go back to the soil. We got to go back to the earth to get what our bodies need, because our bodies came from the earth. And so it just makes sense. Okay. Kenley is saying something else here. Let's see. Kenley says, the sickest thing is having cookouts to raise money for sick people by selling the same food that got the people sick in the first instance. Ain't that something? But again, my people perish for a lack of knowledge, and Kenley's right about that. We have cookouts of people who get sick, and then we sell in the food that help them to get sick at the cookouts. Yeah. Educate yourself, people. Understand that you don't have to be sick, and you don't have to be tied to a pharmaceutical for the rest of your life. You can be free. You can get out of that bondage. It's just a matter of understanding what you need to be taking and finding plant-derived sources of nutrients that your body can assimilate and you will see a huge difference. I see it all the time. You'd be shocked at how much your body will improve if you just simply give it what it needs to function. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side of the break, I want to go into the role of folic acid. Very, very important for you to understand. So let's take this break, and then we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Glory 93.9 FM. We're chasing after God's glory.
Best dress, hats off, looking like I walked out of catalog. Everybody wanna know where I got it from. Catwalk, 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 boutique, where we make fashion statements. Catwalk, boutique, where we make fashion statements.
For the latest styles in women's clothing and accessories, visit Catwalk Boutique on Robertson Road East at the Helron Plaza. At Catwalk Boutique, we make fashion.
Looking for an extraordinary junior high school with caring, qualified staff and affordable tuition? Then come visit us at Elite School of Excellence, an affiliate of First Step Academy. ABECA focused and Ministry of Education approved, we foster discipline, integrity, and wisdom while molding our students for success. Call us at 341-8846 or stop by First Step Academy Schools on Fire Trail and Soldy Roads for more information.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
Escape from the city life to Bacon Air Beach Resort in Pirateswell, Mayaguana. Relax in one of 16 air-conditioned rooms just steps away from the ocean. Enjoy scrumptious dishes in our waterfront dining room. Sip on a tropical cocktail, or if you must, stay connected with wireless internet. Nestled on one of the most beautiful beaches in the Bahamas, Bacon Air Beach Resort offers a unique vacation experience. For reservations, call 339-3726 or 463-0182.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. It's a Wellness Wednesday, and we are talking all about vitamins today as we continue with the 7 strategies for healthy living. And this chapter today, chapter 6 of 7, is all about the vitamins. So We are going to be talking now about folic acid. Folate and folic acid. Very, very important. And although the words folate and folic acid are often used interchangeably, these vitamins are distinct. Folic acid differs structurally from folate and has a slightly different biological effect on the body. Now, that being said, both of them are considered to contribute to an adequate dietary intake. So, folate is found in a number of plant and animal foods, such as spinach or kale or broccoli, avocados, citrus fruits, eggs, beef, liver, etc. Folic acid, on the other hand, is it forms in dietary supplements and is often added to foods. So your body uses folate for a wide variety of critical functions, including the synthesis and repair of your DNA, which is obviously very, very important for overall health. It also functions to assist with cellular division and the conversion of homocysteine to methionine, I think, which is an amino acid that is used for protein synthesis, or converted to act as a primary methyl donor in your body, and it's necessary for cellular reactions. And this is also important for the maturation of red blood cells. So folate is involved in a number of very important metabolic processes, and deficiency of folate leads to an array of negative health occurrences and outcomes, including anemia, which I'm coming across more and more people who have anemia, increased risk of heart disease and certain cancers even, as well as birth defects in infants whose mother was deficient. So let's now go to the next clip that's going to talk about the importance of folate and folic acid.
Other B vitamins include choline and inositol and something called folic acid. In fact, folic acid, vitamin B12, and vitamin B6 are the most important treatments for heart disease that there is. More important than anything else, B12, B6, and folic acid. I remember about 2 or 3 years ago now, a big article came out in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA they call it, and the headline said, 75,000 heart attacks a year can be saved by supplementing with 400 micrograms a day of folic acid. And I thought to myself, just the year before the doctors were saying don't worry about folic acid. Now they're telling you 75,000 heart attacks a year can be saved by folic acid. A classic case of why you never want to listen to your doctor. Because the next year they'll tell you something different than they told you today. You want to use your own common sense, and if folic acid is involved in protecting the heart, that's what you want to take to protect your heart, and don't wait for your doctor to approve of it. Folic acid, by the way, is found in foliage. That's how it gets its name, folic acid. It's found in green leafy vegetables. Folic acid has been used for years to protect against birth defects, because folic acid is involved in making sure that cells grow appropriately. The most important cells that grow appropriately are in the womb when a baby is being born, and the cells of the blood. In fact, all the B vitamins are involved in making sure that the cells grow appropriately and making sure that we have healthy blood.
All right. So we're going to turn our attention now to the fat-soluble vitamins. We were talking about the water-soluble vitamins, and we want to talk now about the fat-soluble vitamins because these are also to function of your body and your overall health. And there's a really easy way to remember them, and it's and to remember what they are. Just think of DEAK, D-E-A-K, as a quick way to remember what are your fat soluble vitamins. DEAK. These are all involved in making sure that your cells grow at the correct rate. All right, so we have to talk about. I want to talk about each of them separately, D, E, A, and K separately, because they are that important to your overall health. So the first one I want to look at is vitamin D. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin because it is produced in your skin in response to sunlight. And it's a fat soluble vitamin in a family of compounds that includes vitamins D1, D2, and D3. Okay? So your body produces vitamin D naturally when it is exposed directly to sunlight. So imagine what is happening in a world where we're being told to avoid the sun, to wear sunscreen, and all this kind of stuff. Clearly, that's going to start contributing to a problem with vitamin D deficiency. You can also get vitamin D in certain foods and supplements to ensure adequate levels of the vitamin in your blood. Vitamin D has several very important functions, and perhaps the most vital are regulating the absorption of calcium and phosphorus in your body and facilitating normal immune system function. Very important nowadays. Y'all know it's floating around out there. So we need to do everything that we can to protect our immune system. Getting a sufficient amount of vitamin D is important for normal growth and development of bones and teeth, as well as improved vitamin D. You are at risk for developing bone abnormalities, such as soft bones or fragile bones, also known as osteoporosis. So let's go to the next clip that is talking about the importance of vitamin D.
D and A are involved in making sure that cells grow at the right rate. You don't want cells growing too fast or too slow. For example, psoriasis is cells that are growing too fast. And vitamin D is one of the best treatments you can have for psoriasis. In fact, you can put vitamin D right on the psoriasis. Vitamin D we get from the sun. The sun hits our skin. By the way, it hits cholesterol in the skin, and it turns it into vitamin D. And then it goes into the liver and it turns it into activated vitamin D. Without the sun, you can't make vitamin D. Vitamin D is responsible for making sure calcium gets into the bones. It helps shuttle calcium into the bones. Whenever you take calcium, you want to take vitamin D with it. If you're not getting vitamin D, calcium will not make it into the bones. No matter how much calcium you're taking, if you're not getting vitamin D, calcium won't make it into your bones. That's why one of the best treatments for osteoporosis is the sun. One of the best ways to make sure that you're getting enough calcium in the bones is to lay out in the sun. What are we all doing today that we didn't do 50 years ago? We're wearing sunscreens. We're keeping the sun from hitting the cholesterol in our skin and keeping the vitamin D from being made. That's why osteoporosis is now an epidemic in this country, even though we're all taking estrogen. Even though more women are on estrogen supplements than ever before, osteoporosis is still an epidemic. One of the main reasons that we're getting osteoporosis is we're not getting enough sun. Today, smart pharmacists or smart doctors will say, you know what, put your sunscreen on after you've been out in the sun for a few minutes. Get yourself 10 minutes of sun every day, or even every other day. Make sure that you're getting enough sun, and don't wear sunscreens just to wear sunscreens. You don't need a sunscreen if you're just going from the car to the office. By the way, sunscreens are among the most toxic, deadly cosmetic chemicals that there are. Sunscreens are so toxic that the FDA won't let manufacturers put them into baby products because babies will absorb the sunscreen. Baby's skin is very thin. Sunscreens are toxic chemicals, and you don't want to be putting them on your skin unless you have to, but especially because of the vitamin D connection. So if you're going to wear sunscreens, get a little bit of sun first. Or make sure that you get a little bit of sun every week, 3, 4, 5 times a week, almost like a nutritional supplement. By the way, vitamin D has been used to treat breast cancer and colon cancer as well because vitamin D helps regulate the growth of cells.
All right, so luckily us here in the Bahamas, we have lots of access to sun. And so, you know, we've been blessed with that. Let's take advantage of that. So let's talk now about the important role of vitamin D, some of the surprising benefits of vitamin D. So vitamin D is very, very good at fighting disease. In addition to its primary benefits, research suggests that vitamin D may also play a role in reducing your risk of multiple sclerosis. That is according to a 2006 study of vitamin D. It's also believed to decrease your chance of developing heart disease. We just heard about that according to the 2008 findings published in Circulation. And it is also known to help reduce your likelihood of developing the flu. According to 2010 research published by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. So we all know that if you catch a flu or a bad cold, go get some sunlight. Oftentimes, I think one of the reasons why people who live in very cold places like to come to the Bahamas during the winter months is because they realize that this is where you're going to get some good sunlight. And if you have the sniffles there and you come here, the sun hits you and it dries up, because that sun is a great source of, you just heard it, the role of vitamin D and the sunlight. Another surprising benefit of vitamin D is it reduces depression. Research has shown that vitamin D might play on improving mood and warding off depression. In one study, scientists found that people with depression who received vitamin D supplements noticed an improvement in their symptoms. And in another study of people with fibromyalgia, researchers found that vitamin D deficiency was more common in those who were experiencing anxiety and depression. Who knew? But yeah, vitamin D can actually reduce depression. And another surprising impact of vitamin D is that it boosts weight loss. Consider adding vitamin D supplements to your diet if you're trying to lose weight or prevent heart disease. In one study, people taking a daily calcium and vitamin D supplement were able to lose more weight than subjects taking a placebo supplement. And scientists said the extra calcium and vitamin D had an appetite-suppressing effect. In another study, overweight people who took a daily vitamin D supplement improved their heart disease risk markers. Excuse me. And so it's a great thing if you're trying to lose weight to incorporate this. Now, again, I'm not recommending that you go out there and try to buy all these various vitamins individually, because you could end up spending a lot of money if you do. Excuse me. Just getting a sip of water here. So we are going to talk about in this show the best way to get all of these 90 nutrients in. If you had to buy them individually, you'd have to carry your land babies in the shop. So that's clearly not the way to go. But you want to make sure that you're getting them all in. It's very important that you do towards your overall health. So let's talk about vitamin D deficiency, because we know the good that it can do, but what happens if you're not getting sufficient vitamin D in your body? Many factors can affect your ability to get sufficient amounts of vitamin D. And these include being in an area with high pollution. So for instance, some of those cities where the air is so polluted, you could, you could hardly see the sky for the pollution. That could affect your body's ability to get your vitamin D from the sun. Again, we're blessed in the Bahamas. I think I just saw a study the other day saying that it's been found that we have the cleanest air in the world. So we're blessed to be able to have that good, clean air, so that the sun, we can benefit from the sunlight as far as vitamin D is concerned. We just talked about using sunscreen. That's one way to block your body's ability to benefit from the sun. Spending too much time indoors. When we were growing up as children, we didn't have all the the computer games and stuff to play. We used to be spent plenty of time out there in the hot sun playing, and it didn't hurt us in any way. These kids nowadays ain't know nothing about that. You take their computer from them and they go into shock. They don't know what to do without that. But growing up, we spent a lot of times. Who is this calling me on my cell phone in the middle of a show? You don't think they know I am there? Growing up, we spent a lot of time playing outside. that's where we got our entertainment and our fun, and that's how we kept in good shape and run up and down all day in the hot sun, and that was actually good for us. So spending too much time indoors is not a good thing when you're talking about the impact of your ability to absorb vitamin D. Another thing that is bad, let me put it this way. This says having darker skin. The higher levels of melanin, the less vitamin D the skin can absorb. So that's us, y'all. So, yeah, we are exposed to a lot of sunlight, but we also have a lot more melanin in our skin that make it less, make our ability to absorb vitamin D less than those with less melanin in the skin. So this is something that we should consider. These factors contribute to vitamin D deficiency in an increasing number of people, and this is why it's important to get some of your vitamin D from sources beside sunlight, especially those of us who are of a darker hue. We have to get our vitamin D not just from sunlight alone. So what are the symptoms of vitamin D deficiency? They include tiredness, aches and pains, and a general sense of not feeling well. Severe bone or muscle pain or muscle weakness is another sign that you may be suffering from a vitamin D deficiency. And this may, result in you having a hard time climbing stairs or from the floor or a low chair. Or it might cause you to be walking kind of funny with like a waddling gait type of thing. This is all signs that you may be suffering from a vitamin D deficiency. Stress fractures in your legs and pelvis and hips. If you have a stress fracture, if you have a fractured pelvis, or that's a good sign that you have a deficiency of vitamin D, and you want to pay attention to that. So you can find out if you have a vitamin D deficiency with a simple blood test. And if you have a deficiency, you can actually, there are ways that your doctor can actually test the strength of your bones. So if you're diagnosed with a vitamin D deficiency, then most likely it's going to be recommended that you start taking vitamin D supplements. As a way to combat, then you may need high doses of vitamin D supplements and liquids. So be sure to get sufficient vitamin as much as you can from the sun and also from the foods that you eat. So what are good sources of vitamin D? Foods that contain vitamin D naturally are things like salmon. And if you're going to go with the salmon, I recommend that you go with wild-caught salmon and not farm-raised salmon. Big difference between the two. Wild-caught is natural salmon. Farm-raised, I call it Salmonzilla because they've pumped it up with so much stuff just to keep it healthy long enough to get to you. And when you eat it, you're eating what they pumped it up with. So if you love salmon and you go in a restaurant, always ask, is this wild caught? And if they say no, then I highly recommend you choose something else off that menu. Sardines is another great source of vitamin D. Egg yolks are a great source of vitamin D. Well, we know from previous shows that eggs are good for you, period. Shrimp is a good source of vitamin D. Fortified milk, if you are into dairy, fortified milk is a good source of vitamin D, as are yogurt and orange juice fortified. But your best bet is to try to get it naturally. It can be hard to get enough vitamin D through sun exposure and food alone, and this is why, again, taking supplements can help. So I want you to do your homework as to how much of it you should be taking. Again, ideally, you should be looking for a source of supplements that already have a pre-measured amount in there to make sure that you're getting sufficient vitamin D. So Carla, up your comment, Carla. So why is it not coming up? Okay, so Carla says, you are working in the spirit today. I had Googled these same vitamins last night in regards to my hair graying so early and so much. B5, B6, and complex, folic acid, calcium, copper. That's the one. And biotin. Thank you for this information today. Have a great day. Yeah. If you are graying prematurely, it's a really good sign that you have a copper deficiency. So in addition to what you just mentioned, Carla, the B5, B6, folic acid, calcium, biotin, copper is a big one for premature graying. And once you get sufficient copper in your diet, your hair actually will turn back to its regular color. No joke. No dye. Kenley says moringa and spirulina are a good source for vitamin D as well. All right, cool. Iron and copper, yes. So you want to make sure that you get sufficient of those in your diet, especially if you're vain like me. And you don't want to have to be, I personally didn't want to have to be dyeing my hair all the time because that is not healthy for you at all. And so there's a natural way to keep your color, and that is just nutrients, getting the adequate nutrients in your body. So according to the Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences reports, they report that new recommendations based on international units per day as to how much you should be getting of vitamin D. And they say that children or teens, 600 IU, adults up to age 70, 600 IU, and adults over age 70, 800 IU, and pregnant and breastfeeding women, 600 IU. But again, your best bet is to find sources in which they are already pre-measured so that you don't have to be, hurting your head over that. Okay? So that's vitamin D. I think we covered that pretty adequately. We also have to look at, let's see where we are. Vitamin A. So let's go ahead and play clip number 7, that would be? Yes, to talk about vitamin A.
There's a cream that's also used to treat acne. You know what that cream is? It's a vitamin A cream. It's called Retin A. You may have heard of Retin A. Retin A is vitamin A cream. It's used to treat acne. And something very remarkable happened about 15 or 20 years ago when the company that came up with Retin A made it and they released it out to the pharmacies, and something very unusual happened. I remember when I was working in the pharmacy, I started to notice women who didn't have acne were coming in to get Retin A. And it's happened more and more and more. And finally, what doctors realized was that not only does vitamin A, Retin A, help with acne, it also helps our body make collagen. Vitamin A can actually be used to help the body make collagen. And vitamin A is possibly the most important ingredient that you can put on your skin for keeping wrinkles away. In fact, vitamin A has not only been shown to keep wrinkles from happening, it's actually been shown to reverse photoaging, to reverse it. Topical vitamin A, that's how important vitamin A is. Vitamin A is the immune vitamin. In fact, before vitamin C was known for being the immune vitamin, vitamin A was, because vitamin A helps support the immune system. In fact, to this day, when there's a measles epidemic in a third world country, the World Health Organization sends vitamin A because of its ability to help with the immune system. Vitamin A is critically important for the respiratory tract. In fact, it's one of the most important nutrients you can take if you have respiratory infections. Smokers need more vitamin A. Anybody who's assaulting the respiratory system needs more vitamin A. Vitamin A helps the body make mucus. And guess what, folks? Mucus is your friend. You never want to stop the body from making mucus. If you're sick, mucus is the way the body fights disease, because mucus contains immune globulins. So if you have a respiratory infection, you're producing a lot of mucus, the last thing you want to do is take a drug that'll stop the mucus, because the mucus is fighting disease. Vitamin A helps the body make mucus. It helps the whole respiratory tract. It helps the whole digestive tract. It helps the skin. Vitamin A is also stored in the skin like vitamin C is to protect you from sunburn.
All right, so let's talk more about vitamin A. Vitamin A is a nutrient important to vision, growth, cell division, reproduction, and immunity. And vitamin A also has antioxidant properties. We've already talked about what an antioxidant does. It stops your body from rusting. Antioxidants are substances that might protect your cells against the effects of free radicals. And these are molecules produced when your body breaks down food or is exposed to things like tobacco, smoke, and radiation. Free radicals might play a role in heart disease, cancer, and other diseases. So free radicals are bad news. And antioxidants help to combat free radicals. So let me explain in really simple terms the way free radicals operate. So, okay, so my favorite dessert is guava duff. Nowadays, gluten-free guava duff. So let's say I invite all of my friends to a guava duff party. And I take up a bunch of saucers of guava duff. But let's say I invite 15 people to this party, and I only take up 12 saucers of guava duff. And so I give those 12 plates out, and the other 3 are like, so what about us? And so one of the other 3 grabs a plate from somebody else. And now they're happy because they have their guava duff. But now the person who originally had it is unhappy. And then the other 2 as well. And so all of a sudden now you've got chaos because you got everybody grabbing the plate from each other, and it's creating this chaos. That's what happens. And I know that's a really very oversimplified, but that is what happens with free radicals. It causes chaos. And so what antioxidants does is it makes sure everybody has their own plate. So nobody got to be grabbing each other plate and fighting and causing problems. Okay, that's a very oversimplified way of describing it. So vitamin A is an antioxidant, and vitamin A is found in many foods such as spinach, dairy products, and liver, and other sources of foods rich in beta carotene, such as leafy green vegetables, carrots, and cantaloupe is a good source of vitamin A as well, because your body converts beta carotene into vitamin A. You want to be taking supplements, again, to ensure that you're getting sufficient vitamin A in your diet, in addition to eating the foods that are good sources of vitamin A. Research on vitamin A shows that it has positive effects on acne, which you would have just heard Ben talk about in that clip. Large doses of oral vitamin A supplements. Well, actually, if you apply it topically, it can affect your skin and problems that are related to acne and things like that. So vitamin A obviously is one of the many micronutrients that, all of them are important. All of them are very, very important. And you want to make sure that you're getting adequate amounts in your diet for optimal health. And so, again, I want to encourage you to the fact that you do need supplements. And I keep preaching that because I come across so many people who think that they don't need it, and yet they are sick. So the reason why I think the show is important is because I'm trying to break this down so that y'all can get a full understanding of why these nutrients are important to your health. There's no way around it. Okay? All right. So we are going to take our final break of the show. And then when we come back, remember we said DEAK, So we've covered the D and the A, so now we have to cover the K and the E. So we're going to be looking at vitamins K and E on the other side. And we'd love to hear from you. Of course, this is a show that is obviously interactive, so we'd love to hear from you in terms of what questions you may have about the importance of vitamins to your diet. Stay with us. This is GPS.
The people's favorite gospel station.
Ocean Blue is the best in seafood, fresh out the water and affordable too. We got fish, conch, lobster, shrimp, everything you want. Ocean Blue got it. Ocean Blue, friendly and clean, best service you ever seen. Ocean Blue is the best in seafood, fresh out the water and affordable too. Ocean Blue Seafood, we are here for you. Ocean Blue Seafood, no one else will do. Ocean Blue Seafood, located on Burnett Road. Contact us at 393-2160.
At the Shirley Street Plaza, you'll find Le Petit Gourmet, a small cafe that's big on flavor. Handcrafted delights made with love will not only please your palate, but feed your soul. Call us at 394-1251. 8 to 12 minutes is all it takes for a burglar to rob your home or business. Security Systems International provides professional and affordable solutions for both. Call 396-5000 for your customized quote. Gwen's Alterations provides professional services for all your tailoring needs, including face masks to keep you safe and in style. A stitch in time saves 9. So call us today at 393-6227.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting sugar-free berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. And it's a Wellness Wednesday. And we are talking about, this is chapter 6 of a 7-chapter book of nutrition, as described by pharmacist Ben Fuchs, who is the gentleman that you're hearing in all of the clips that are being played on the show today. And this is a series of shows we've been doing, looking at the 7 strategies for good health. And in this chapter 6, we are focusing today on vitamins. Vitamins or micronutrients that are vital to ensuring that you have good health. Without them, you cannot achieve optimal health. Bottom line, you just have to supplement and you have to eat well in order to get the adequate amounts of nutrition that your body needs. So we are in this next clip going to hear Ben Fuchs talk about the importance of vitamins K and E. So let's go to that next clip.
Vitamin K acts like a magnet to make sure calcium stays in the bones. Vitamin K is the clotting vitamin as well. When our blood doesn't clot, it leaks. And when blood leaks, we get bruising. So one of the signs of vitamin K deficiency is bruising. Vitamin K acts like a magnet to make sure calcium stays in the bones. Vitamin K is the clotting vitamin as well. When our blood doesn't clot, it leaks. And when blood leaks, we get bruising. So one of the signs of vitamin K deficiency is bruising. Many times older folks will suffer from vitamin K deficiencies and they'll get bruising, and one of the best treatments is vitamin K. Vitamin E is arguably not only the most important vitamin of all, but it may be the most important chemical nutrient of all. Because vitamin E is involved in making sure that every cell in your body stays healthy. Because remember we said how earlier every cell is wrapped around with a layer of fat, essential fatty acid fat? Vitamin E's role, among others, is to make sure that essential fatty acid fat stays stable. That's why if you're smart enough to know to take essential fatty acids, now that we've talked about how important they are, you want to take them with vitamin E, because vitamin E stabilizes the essential fatty acids. Vitamin E protects every single cell in your body. Vitamin E is the most important nutrient for the fatty system of the body, which includes the heart, by the way. Vitamin E is a rust protector for the fatty system of the body, the way vitamin C is a rust protector for the watery system of the body. It's the equivalent of vitamin C in the fat system. Vitamin E has been used to treat heart disease very successfully. People who get 400 international units of vitamin E don't get heart disease. Vitamin E is not found in many foods. You have to supplement with vitamin E. You need 400 to 800 international units a day. Their RDA's is 14 international units a day. And those are your fat-soluble nutrients, vitamins D, E, A, and K. And in conjunction with the water-soluble nutrients, or vitamins C and B, Chapter 6, vitamin.
Okay, so let's look closely at vitamin K and the benefits of vitamin K. So bone health. There appears to be a correlation between low intake of vitamin K and osteoporosis. So you want to, if you want to avoid, if you're already having challenges with bone health, this is something you ought to be paying attention to. Several studies have suggested that vitamin K actually supports the maintenance of strong bones, improves bone density, and decreases the risk of fractures. So again, that is one of the benefits of vitamin K. Another benefit is cognitive health. Increased blood levels of vitamin K have been linked with improved memory in older adults. In one study, healthy individuals over the age of 70 years with the highest blood levels of vitamin K1 had the highest verbal memory performance. Heart health is another benefit of vitamin K. Vitamin K may help blood pressure lower by preventing mineralization, where minerals build up in the arteries, and this enables the heart to pump blood freely through the body. Mineralization naturally occurs with age, or I would dare say degeneration, because of being sick that we think it's normal. It is a major factor for heart disease, and adequate intake of vitamin K also has been shown to lower the risk of stroke. So clearly, vitamin K is something that you're getting sufficient of. Vitamin K occurs in leafy vegetables. Those of y'all who don't like vegetables, kale and Swiss chard. Other sources include vegetable, some fruits that you'll find as a good source of vitamin K. Let's see. Sources of K2 include meat, dairy products, eggs, soybeans, although I don't recommend soy because of the fact that it's genetically modified and heavily sprayed with Roundup. So you want to avoid soy. So there are some sample foods that are a good source of vitamin K, which include 10 sprigs of parsley that contains about 90 micrograms of vitamin A, half a cup serving of frozen or boiled collard greens. I love collard greens. Contains about 530 micrograms of vitamin K. 1 cup of raw spinach contains about 145 micrograms. Half a cup of grapes contains 11 micrograms, and a hard-boiled egg contains 4 micrograms of vitamin K. And I say go soft boil or medium boil as opposed to hard boil, because now when you hard boil it, it affects the fat in the egg. It changes the structure too much. So yeah, this is where you can find great sources of vitamin K. But again, you have to also supplement in addition to eating those foods, because you'd have to eat so much of those foods to get the recommended amount that it would not be sustainable. So that is vitamin K and the benefits of vitamin K. So, obviously this is something that you need to look at to try and incorporate in your diet. All right. And he also talked in that clip about vitamin E and the benefits of vitamin E. And I think he did a pretty good job at it. Not that I can add much more to say than he had to say, but vitamin E is a great source. It's a great antioxidant, and obviously protects your cells from damage. And it contributes to a longer cell life. So this is again about the rusting of the body. It helps to combat the rusting of the body. And researchers have investigated the use of vitamin E as a treatment, including the hardening of arteries, high blood pressure, heart disease, and cancer. And so vitamin E may also help people with higher environmental or lifestyle risk factors, and will help to combat the free radicals that are caused by cigarette smoking. Just stop the smoking, y'all. That's a simple way to deal with it. Or things like exposure to air pollution, which you don't have control over so much, and high exposure to ultraviolet rays from sunlight. And it may also repair damaged cells. You definitely want to incorporate some vitamin E into your diet. So what are good sources of food for vitamin E? Dry roasted sunflower seeds gives you 1 ounce of those gives you about 7.4 micrograms of vitamin E. Dry roasted hazelnuts, 1 ounce, gives you 4.3 micrograms. Dry roasted almonds provides 6.8 micrograms, ounce of those. Spinach, boiled, half a cup, provides 1.9 micrograms of vitamin E. Broccoli, chopped and boiled, half a cup, provides 1.2 micrograms. Kiwi fruit, 1 medium size, provides 1.1. And mango season is coming up, y'all, half a cup, provides 0.7. And tomato, raw, medium size, provides 0.7. So those are some of the food sources that you can consume to give you more vitamin E. And so I promised that we would spend some time talking about the difference between good supplements and not so good supplements. And this is important because I see people asking where to get these vitamins. Because let's face it, if you had to go into the food store and buy all of these nutrients individually, not the food store, the pharmacy, and buy all of these nutrients individually, you best believe you better take your land papers in there. It's going to cost you a lot of money to buy all of that. And then on top of that, I often tell people, again, you have to know the source of the vitamins that you're taking, because many of these vitamin companies many of these vitamins are produced by Big Pharma. Yeah, they get you one way or the other. Either they get you with the medication, or Big Pharma has also taken over the agriculture industry. So there's a lot of genetically modified foods they're putting out there, which is helping to contribute to you being sick. And then they get you with the pharmaceutical medication that they tell you to take to stop you, or to manage the sickness that they help to cause with the genetically modified foods. And then for those of you who don't want to go that route, they still getting you by producing vitamins. So you go into a typical pharmacy and it's lined off with all of these vitamins, right? Problem is, they have been produced from minerals in their raw state. And so if it's not in a lab, your body cannot break it down. And so what is happening is you're taking this and your body's not breaking it down and it's passing right through your system. The same way you take it is the same way you pass it out. Your body can't assimilate it. So you are looking for plant-derived nutrition that your body can assimilate, that your body can break down. And a really good source of that is the company that I recommend all the time, which is Youngevity. Youngevity has a line, it's all plant-based nutrition. And their bioavailability rate, in other words, your body's ability to break it down, is up to 98%. And so this is why when we put people on nutrition, specifically from Youngevity or one of the 40 divisions associated, there are 40 different lines of nutrition that are available to you. Youngevity is one of them, but there are many others, like Good Herbs and many others. When you introduce this nutrition to your body, forget about it. Your body immediately starts to respond because it is able to break it down and absorb it. So you got to get the right nutrition. It's not important. It's not enough, I should say, just to go run out and buy any and every, supplement and think you're doing something good. I'm sorry, but your body can't deal with it. And it's pointless to take nutrition that your body cannot break down. So stop allowing Big Pharma to make you a victim yet again. Because that's what they specialize in, victimizing the people. So like I say, they've taken over the agriculture industry. So they got a bunch of genetically modified foods, spraying everything with Roundup, causing you to get things like cancer, right? And then they tell you, okay, go take this the sickness that we caused you to get, or we helped contribute towards you getting. And then when you decide to go the natural way, you think, they get you there too. Because they have created these synthetic vitamins that your body don't know what to do with. Educate yourself, people. Stop allowing yourself to be victimized by these people yet again. So if you are interested in getting yourself on some of this high quality, I call it therapeutic nutrition, because it really is therapy. Once you get the right levels of nutrition in your body, it's therapy. It really does do miraculous things. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, you're already on my Facebook page if you're watching the show there. So just scroll to the top of my Facebook page, and I have pinned to the top of that page the link to a health evaluation. Now, why is the health evaluation important? Coaches, as you all know by now, I'm sure, I'm a certified holistic health coach, and as a certified holistic health coach that has been certified through the Institute of Holistic Health, we don't believe in just throwing products at people. We don't do that. We believe, again, that your body is a complete system, and when you experience a symptom like high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes, or cancer, or lupus, or heart disease, or whatever, that is your body's way of telling you that something has gone wrong with the system. So as opposed to only throwing products at the symptom, what we do is we look at the system of your body, and then we look to correct the problem from the root cause with nutrition. Many of these conditions, especially the autoimmune conditions, start in the gut. Because when you have a damaged gut, your body is not able to absorb the nutrients properly. But then there's an even bigger problem, and that problem is that once you consume foods, certain foods that are damaging your gut, Certain proteins will get into your bloodstream. Toxins will start getting into your bloodstream because your gut is damaged. And so things start getting into your bloodstream that shouldn't be there. And the next thing you know, your immune system starts to overreact because it sees these things in your bloodstream as an enemy to be attacked. And so for some people, you end up with autoimmune diseases like lupus, like thyroid malfunction. Your immune system gets out of whack. Okay, so keep in mind that 70% of your immune system is in your digestive tract. So when you have an underactive immune system, you end up with things like cancer. When you have an overactive immune system, you end up with things like thyroid malfunction or lupus or, when the body, not lupus, but autoimmune diseases okay? So you want to make sure that your gut is healed and not damaged, and you want to make sure that you're taking the right supplements that that your body can actually absorb so that it can go to work and do all the things that we've been talking about on this show today that these vitamins do, which is help your body to function at optimal levels. Okay? So it all begins with that gut health. Once your gut is healed and you're able to absorb your nutrients, then you're going to start to see some remarkable changes in your health. I guarantee. I'm 100% certain. And I am that certain because I've seen this happen so many times. Like clockwork. Clockwork. All you got to do is get that person off the bad foods, heal the gut, and you can start to nutrition. So keep in mind that disease is really just degeneration or rusting. Your body is rusting from the inside out. And all we do with nutrition is we stop that rusting process and we get the body to start healing itself again. And again, we do that. Obviously, it's a case-by-case thing. We don't believe one suit fits all. So the one thing that we recommend for everyone is the 90 nutrients because that's what your body needs just to function. That's the gasoline for the car. But apart from that, every person is different. So every person's requirements will be different based on what their body is going through. And this is why we highly recommend that people do that health evaluation, because that is our way of seeing what's going on in your body and then tailoring a specific response for you based on what you are dealing with, what you are going through. I'm saying to you, because that's all symptoms are. Symptoms are your body's way of saying, hello, pay attention to me. Something is going wrong here. I need help. And once you can interpret what your body is telling you, and our system brilliantly does that, helps us to see what's happening in your body based on the 4 categories of disease, because of the 900 diseases out there that are a result of a nutritional deficiency, they all fit into one of 4 categories. So what our health evaluation system does is it helps us to identify which categories of disease you are most deficient in, which nutrients you're most deficient in that particular category. And then all we have to do is match nutrients to the category. And miracles happen. People out there are praying for healing. Praying for healing. And the funny thing is, once they get prayers are answered, I tell people all the time, we're in the business of shortening prayer lists. And this is why the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Because the healing is in the herbs. The healing is right there for us. But you got to know where to look. You got to know what to do. You got to know what to take to turn your health around. And I'm telling you, I don't care what you're dealing with. As long as there's life, there's hope. You can heal. Believe that. I always tell people when I'm doing health evaluations, consultations, and sometimes I come across people and they almost like don't want to, you know, I had one client say, well, the doctor's telling me that I have this, but I believe in them. I say, miss, believe the diagnosis, because you cannot fix what you do not acknowledge. So believe the diagnosis, but don't believe the prognosis. They tell you have type 2 diabetes. Don't say the doctor trying to put that on you. Doctor ain't trying to put nothing on you. That's what you got. Now, deal with it. You got to face it. Now that you face it, you can deal with it. You cannot fix what you do not acknowledge. So believe the prognosis. Don't believe the prognosis. Believe the diagnosis. But don't believe the prognosis. Don't believe that you have to be on medication for the rest of your life. Don't believe that there's nothing that your body can do to heal itself. Do not believe that. You get the right nutrients in your body, along with eating the right macronutrients. You sprinkle that pixie dust of the micronutrients on top of that, your body will heal itself. No joke. Give it a try. So if you or anyone that you know is battling any kind of non-communicable disease, or if you just simply want to make sure that you have a good, healthy immune system in the midst of this COVID madness, then I highly recommend that health evaluation. It is pinned to the top of the page on Facebook. Fill it out. Make sure you watch the video on the landing page where you put in your contact information, and that video will explain to you how to score yourself. The Institute right now is in the middle of, we're just starting out a client trial study where we're observing the impact of nutrition on nutrients on clients and their ability to turn their health around. So if you'd like to be a part of that, when you fill out health evaluation and it says who referred you to this link, just put something in there that says 90-day trial or something like that, so we can know that you're interested in being a part of that trial. All right? But trust me, people, you don't have to be sick. You don't have to be dying. Your body is a healing machine designed by the ultimate manufacturer to heal. All you got to do is give it what it needs to do so. So next week on Wellness Wednesday, the final chapter in this 7-chapter series on 7 strategies for healthy living. And that's a big one. We're going to be talking about minerals. So many people are mineral deficient. We're going to be talking about minerals on next week's show. That's going to do it. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for being a part of GPS Today. Don't miss tomorrow's show. Our guest tomorrow is going to be Marlon Johnson. Yeah, y'all. We're going to be talking about the country's economy and what is the plan to get us out of this mess. That's on the show tomorrow. I'll see you then. Have a good one.